What would you say if I told you that there are two numbers that could save your life, and that these two numbers are not in your phone address book? Hi everyone, and welcome back to Sister's Keeper. Last week we talked about the need to get healthy and take care of our bodies well into old age. Over the next 10 weeks and more, we will be examining our current state of health. This is good habit number 1. What's going on in our bodies right now? If we don't know where we are, how can we know where we need to go? We've all seen the maps at shopping malls, where it says, "You are here." Once you can locate yourself on the map, then you can find your way to where you need to go. Our health checks do the same thing. They tell us where we are. Health checks are not a waste of money. Rather, they are worth more than we could ever afford. Just like your financial wealth can be measured using numbers, like your bank account and investment portfolio, there are numbers which are used to measure our health. The first of these health numbers that we need to know is our blood pressure. And these numbers can be the difference between life and sudden death. We all know our account balance, who is owing us money, the number of wigs, shoes and bags we have. But do we know our blood pressure? Let's start with the definition. I'm not a doctor, but this is information that's widely available with just one internet search. Blood pressure is the force with which blood pushes against the walls of our arteries. You need to do all you can to keep your blood pressure within a normal range, because when your blood pressure remains high over time, it causes the heart to pump harder and work overtime, possibly leading to serious health problems such as heart attack, stroke, heart failure, and kidney failure. Blood pressure is measured using a blood pressure pump. This can be done at the hospital or by buying a blood pressure monitor. You can buy a monitor relatively cheaply for about the same cost as a mobile phone. So if you're in your 50s and above, you need to reprioritize, and rather than trying to buy the latest phone, know that you'll be making an investment for your life and your future by getting a blood pressure monitor. A blood pressure measurement has two numbers, one on the top and the other at the bottom. It looks like a math question when you are asked to divide a larger number by a smaller number, and knowing these two numbers can actually save your life. The top number is called the systolic pressure. This is the pressure of the blood flow when the heart muscle contracts as it pumps blood. The bottom number is called diastolic pressure. This is the pressure measured between heartbeats. Blood pressure readings are divided by medical experts into 4 general categories. The first category is normal blood pressure. Here you have the top number below 120 and the bottom number below 80. This is the blood pressure reading that we should all be aiming for. It means that you're in good health. The second category is elevated blood pressure. Here, the top number is between 120 to 129 and the bottom number is below 80. For the third category, stage 1 high blood pressure, also known as hypertension, the top number is 130 to 139 and the bottom number is 80 to 89. For the fourth category, which is stage 2 high blood pressure, also known as hypertension, the top number is 140 or higher and the bottom number is 90 or higher. The most dangerous thing about blood pressure is that you can hardly feel it when it's high. You could be walking around with a blood pressure of 180 over 120 and not feel a thing. Just think about it. You could be anywhere, at the shopping mall, watching a movie, getting your hair done, at the market, lying down, using the toilet, even boarding a plane when a stroke occurs. This is why it's called the silent killer. 2021 research by the World Health Organization shows that Hypertension is a major cause of premature death worldwide. An estimated 46% of adults with hypertension are unaware that they have the condition. An estimated 1.28 billion adults aged 30 to 79 worldwide have hypertension. So let's examine what causes high blood pressure. Many Africans believe that the sole reason for high blood pressure is worry. I've heard people say that their boyfriend or husband or hyperactive child or some grave news or provocation wants to give them BP, as it's often called. Others will say that BP is caused by what they call overthinking. Well, with the rate at which the standard of living is rising these days, I would say that we are all overthinking, but we're not all hypertensive. While it is true that stress plays a role in our blood pressure, there are other conditions which play a much more important role. Some of these factors are within our direct control. Those are called modifiable factors. Other factors which are not within our control are called non-modifiable factors. Modifiable factors include unhealthy diets, which include excessive salt consumption, a diet high in saturated fat, examples of which are milk, white chocolate, cakes, biscuits, and pastries, as well as trans fats. Trans fats can be found in many foods, including fried foods like donuts, and baked goods, including pie crusts and biscuits. Other contributory modifiable factors are the low intake of fruits and vegetables, physical inactivity, consumption of tobacco and alcohol, and being overweight or obese. The non-modifiable factor is genetics. People predisposed to hypertension because their parents and close family members are hypertensive. Unfortunately, high blood pressure usually has no symptoms, none whatsoever. But if we are by some chance fortunate to have symptoms, they include severe headaches, nosebleed, vision problems, chest pain, difficulty breathing, and stroke. A stroke happens when blood flow to a part of your brain is cut off. Without the oxygen in blood, brain cells start dying within minutes. According to the World Health Organization, globally, stroke is the second leading cause of death and the third leading cause of disability. 1 in 4 people are in danger of stroke in their lifetime. So the first assignment for you is to get your blood pressure checked today, not tomorrow. As our people say, do it with immediate effect and automatic alacrity. How often should we get our blood pressure checked to be sure our heart is healthy? People younger than 40 need to check every 2 years, especially if you're at low risk for hypertension, which also implies that it doesn't run in your family. The Mayo Clinic, in an article on elevated blood pressure dated August 9, 2022, states, and I am reading verbatim, people age 40 and older or younger with an increased risk of high blood pressure should have a blood pressure test every year. The article then goes on to reveal that risk factors for high blood pressure include 1. Obesity, and then 2. Wait for it, being black. This shocks you? It shocked me too. Whenever you go to the hospital and your blood pressure is checked, take note of it. There are also apps where you can record your blood pressure reading. Another option is to buy a blood pressure monitor and check it yourself at home. This is an awakening. I need you to find the willpower to fight for your life. Fight to see your children and grandchildren grow up, God willing. Your body is pleading with you to make a change here and now before it's too late. And that wraps up our time together today. Next week, we'll talk extensively about how to change our lifestyle to reduce the risks of hypertension and other serious conditions. Thank you for listening. Remember to be your sister's keeper. Please feel free to make a comment or contribution via our socials at sisterskeeper42 and email sisterskipper42@gmail.com. Take care of yourself, sis, and I look forward to talking to you next week.